Hey, it's me. You notice how I never say my name? Never say it. You say it 3 times, then I appear in a little miniature village and I wreak havoc at the whorehouse with a thin Alec Baldwin. I got records. Well, at the police station. But I also have vinyl records. Not the same thing, as it turns out. And you're not going to stand up in court with a bunch of vinyl records. It's not going to get you nowhere. However, records I do have. I've been to a couple. The mysterious place wherein I never knew the name of it. It's called the St. Joseph House. I guess it's a not-for-profit thing. I don't know what it is. Anyway, they don't have the records like they used to. Because they were charging like 10 for $1, right? And I was having a good time. But then, they're not 10 for $1 anymore. In fact, they're not even there anymore. I think they're taking them and selling them. Because they see how people are enjoying the vinyl revival. And, no mas. No mas on that. And there's the other little, the thrift store. I may have told you about that last time, or I may not. I don't remember. But, anyway, they got stuff. I haven't been there in a couple of days. Their records are $2. All this stuff was acquired in the last, let's say, week to 10 days. Whenever my last video was, it was like the day after that, I started getting stuff again. It's a never-ending vicious cycle. Okay. And, mind you, I got this. Knowing there are 2 records in the set. And yet, I get charged for 1 record, right? Because I'm sneaky. I'm learning the tricks. Because I wouldn't buy this. I'd buy this at 50 cents, but not at $1. No, sir. Stonewall Jackson's greatest hits. Apparently not the Stonewall Jackson who participated in the Civil War. This guy sang Waterloo, not the ABBA Waterloo. Don't get confused. He's the old-fashioned hillbilly guy. The kind of guy my dad would have listened to. In fact, I know my dad listened to it because my dad listened to country music. That's just the way it is, man. As a side effect, I listened to a lot of country music back in the day. Some of it sunk in, some of it did not. Let's not get crazy. And this is Charlie Pride, Excessive Ringwear. But this is Songs of Pride, Charlie Pride, that is. These are not songs that I know. Helpful advisory to visit the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville, Tennessee. And this was Cheryl's. I understand they burned down her she shed. I hope she got it rebuilt. Right, still in the plastic. Who would dare take out this Hook on Classics 2 out of the plastic? It has all these songs set to a groovy disco beat. And it's in real good shape. It's on Victor Records because no one played it. Or maybe someone played it once. Let's see what it cost this lucky soul. $6.79. This was the way we did things back then. We bought a record. We paid a lot for it. We brought it home. We played it. We didn't like it. And put it on a shelf. Right? This is Roy Orbison, Problem Child. The glasses, huh? The Roy Orbison glasses. Eh? So, let's see, it's just a promotional thing. Songs like 17 Little Kisses, Compact Car, You're My Baby, I Never Knew, Domino, I'm Gonna See My Baby Tonight, Hate That Bear, and Mandy Mine. I think this was at the nadir of Orbison's career. I think maybe things weren't so good for him. I had heard on Entertainment Tonight in the early 80s, and I don't know why. I've retained this knowledge for a long time. But this was way before his Traveling Wilburys revival, way after his fame, but this early 80s. So Roy Orbison is like, he's suing his manager, his ex-manager, because his career was not as successful as it could be. No, you sue the Beatles because your career is not as successful as it should be. It's not your manager's fault, although he probably stole half your money. If he's still alive, this is just alleged. Thought I was just glad to see you, huh? Okay, this one, special. It's a rare find. It's probably not a rare find. But, anyway, some hipsters are glad to have this. I take it or leave it, but for 50 cents, there you are. Chipmunk Punk. Now, I looked at the track list on this, and I was surprised to see some of the songs that are on here. Okay, for one thing, Good Girls Don't. And I'm assuming this is the censored version of Good Girls Don't. Okay, it's not Alvin, Theodore, and Simon singing about wishing they could get into her pants. It's not the same thing. The edge is dulled. It's like when they deleted the rape thing from Coward of the County just because of the Chipmunks. No, you get no special privilege, Chipmunks. Let's go. Good Girls Don't. How Do I Make You? The Linda Ronstadt song. Refugee. Frustrated. Frustrated? What is that? Call Me. You May Be Right. Crazy Little Thing Called Love. And My Sharona. 2 Knack songs. Alvin there with his guitar. He's quite the punk rocker. By the way, none of these are punk songs. They didn't do God Save the Queen on here. It's not like, oh wow, one of these do is still rock and roll to me, huh? Weasels. No, chipmunks. You're sort of weasels. You're weasels to me. And Conway Twitty. And this is this is fake, the hair thing. Songwriter. Now, I'm looking on here, making sure. Yep. I'm just making sure that he actually co-wrote about half of them, which means nothing. Now this, Troy Seals. It's a big write-up on the Conway Twitty from Troy Seals. And this is a songwriter series, usually because I can't really read the fine print. I'm seeing 1986. I mean, he died like at 93 of the pneumonia. Sudden, fatal death. Got pneumonia so bad, he was literally killed to death by it. It's a sad thing. It's very bad. No way, no. Okay, now is that a mole? I think that's just somebody marker, or maybe a fly. Anyway, Conway Twitty, and this is You've Never Been This Far Before, and that's a huge hit. And Baby's Gone. Maggie, Maggie, I have your baby. That's a bridge thing. I saw it on the YouTube last night. It was fake there and it's fake here. Let's see. Born to Lose. Bring It On Home. The Weakness in Your Mind. Seasons of my heart. When the final change is made, above and beyond, I love you more in memory. Wow. Look at those sideburns, though, huh? That was something. That sideburns worth 50 cents right there. And I checked these records out. I mean, check them out. I bought them. But I checked them out before I bought them. And most of them were in pretty good condition. Although they look like crap on the jackets. But, no. I have Street Beat. This is a K-Tail joint. And let's see what good songs we have here. Flashdance, What a Feeling, I'll Tumble For You, Love is a Stranger, Just Got Lucky by the Joe Boxers. You know, I made a 80s compilation for a cassette today, and that song I put on there, because that's a quality song. Our House Madness also made the compilation. Safety Dance, yep. Too Shy by Kajagoogoo, also on my 80s compilation. This is a coincidence. Promises by Naked Eyes. I'm Still Standing by Elton John. This puts this at about 1983. I'm Still Standing. I don't know if you remember the video. Now, Elton John in the late 70s made an admission in an interview that he was bisexual, right? Bisexual, you know, the initials for which are BS, in his case. Because he weren't no bisexual. He just wanted to ease people into it, right? So to speak. All right, but his then popularity, this is Elton John, and this is popularity, I'm bisexual, going down, so to speak. And so, when he made the video for I'm Still Standing, which I'm pretty sure, let's see, who wrote this song? Elton John and Bernie Taupin. Now, Bernie Taupin, I don't want to get into a little weird thing here, but Elton did the music, Bernie did the lyrics, and this was a long-standing tradition they had. Now, apparently, things didn't go so great, and in the 80s, the quality fell off, in my opinion. By 1985, Bernie Taupin had written the lyrics for We Built This City on Rock and Roll, which is one of the worst songs to ever. I wouldn't say it was released. I would say it escaped. That's what happened. Anyway, so they did the video for I'm Still Standing, right? And they had a cut in there where Elton John is putting his hands on a woman's butt. And I think this was not Elton's idea. I think this was a record company idea. So they want to say, Elton, look, you do what you want to do. It's not legal to be gay yet, but it will be in about 30 years. You can even marry a guy if you want, but not until 2014. All right, but right now it's 1983. We need you to grab this butt. And if not, well, maybe we'll just slip in a shot of some guy's fingers grabbing a butt and edit it in to imply that it's you. Yeah, it's okay. That's probably not what happened, but in my mind, I see that as possibly happening. That's all. Don Gibson. Now, this is I'm All Wrapped Up in You, a Don Gibson album. Apparently I don't know that much about Don Gibson, except he wrote a lot of legendary and popular country songs. My dad would probably know who Don Gibson is, or was. They're both dead now. Maybe they're talking. I don't know. Then somebody, I don't know who it is, but let's say, oh, what's going on here? Let's say you're a kind of a great value Dan Fogelberg, Michael McDonald's, Kenny Loggins hybrid with a bit of Robbie Dupree, like George Burns here, with a bit of Robbie Dupree thrown in. And still, I don't know what your music is or what you're about, but maybe you're this guy, and you're J. Boy Adams, Pork no, sorry, fork in the road, not pork in the road. That's something entirely different. That's a Beatles song. Why don't we do it in the road? Pork in the road. Okay, he's there in a sexy playgirl type pose. I don't know what type of music this is. Saddle Tramp, Boy from the Badland, Lone Line Rider. Let's say he's a country artist. Tennessee Stud, I Can Get By, Stray Dogs and Alley Cats, Spotlights and Limousines. And this was 1978. What a hunk. And he was on Atlantic. And often artists, or back in the 70s, they were given a couple of records to prove themselves. They were given a contract, and you put out one or two or three. Look, these days, when I say these days, like they're actually still record companies, you put out a record, and if it doesn't sell, you're history. You're done. In the 70s, Aerosmith had like 3 or 4 albums. They were given a development deal. They say, oh, well, this first album of yours sold 9 copies. But you better, on the next one, you better get it right. I don't know, in the 70s, if you just had one record album and then you ceased to exist, you might have had more than one. But have you ever heard of him? I haven't. I just put the record down and I can't even remember the guy's name. What's that all about? Alfie. Right, Donnie and Marie. Okay, here's Poofy Hair and Crazy Pants. These are songs featuring songs from their television show, Polydor, Kolob Records, which I've been listening to a series about the Mormon Church, and Kolob is apparently a planet, right? Where, I don't know, space gods come from. Anyway, that's apparently a Mormon thing. It has their cover of Deep Purple, the Nino Tempo and April Stevens song, and this is an inferior cover. Thing you should know about Nino Tempo and April Stevens, they're brother and sister. And they may have been just as close brother and sister as Donnie and Marie. I can't speculate because everyone is still alive. When somebody dies, and I know there are no lawyers sniffing around, I'll expand on my theories. Until then, bzz. Right? And this was in the 50 cent. Well, it was $1, but they're half price, and this was last Thursday. Eddie Grant. And this has the included hit Electric Avenue. Right? And it's one of 2 Eddie Grant songs that I know. The other one's not on here because it would be the theme to Romancing the Stone, which was about 2 years later. Right? And somebody paid $7.96 for this. Right? Bobby Bear. This is Bear Country. Now, Bobby Bear, he wrote some good songs. Like he wrote Detroit City. I can't tell you what other songs he might have written. Nothing that I would recognize. However, the thing I know about Bobby Bear is when I was a kid, when I was a wee lad, and this was early 1970s, my parents got involved in a real estate thing where they bought some lots in Corrigan, Texas, in a place called Riley Village. They bought these lots for each of us, like 7 kids, right? There's a ton of us. There's so many of us I can't remember. Bought all these lots. And said, you'll have these lots and you'll keep them. When you grow up, you'll be able to build on these and you're all going to live near each other. Okay? Funny thing is, okay, and then, Bobby Bear was there singing that day, It was some kind of promotional real estate thing for this Raleigh Village dealio. And he was there singing. Of course, I was 3 or 4 years old. I don't know. I remember the day. I remember a guy playing guitar. I don't know, for Bobby Bear. But years later, and I did have friends that actually lived out there, and I had some cousins that lived out there. And they got financially compensated because there was illegal cyanide dumping on that land. And it was, I would say it's uninhabitable for years, for decades, but apparently people are living on it now. We still own those lots. And it's all dirt roads and muddy and rain. Anyway, it's still there. I don't know. It's a story I shouldn't have bothered you with. I shouldn't have burdened you with this story. This is taking forever. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Leslie Uggams on TV with Mitch Miller's sing-along chorus. Now, Leslie Uggams is unknown to you, to most of you. Any of you under 40 years old, you probably don't know about Leslie Uggams, but you've heard about her in a Family Guy joke that you can't possibly get. All right, Peter is talking about the time he divorced. He left Lola Falana, his wife, and he says, Lola, I gotta leave you, and she's in tears, and she says, she's like, I'm Leslie Uggams. Okay, but it was more effective on the show. By the way, Disney now owns Family Guy. Think about that. Okay. Leslie Uggams, great. I mean, good entertainer. She was in a lot of show business things. She was in Vegas, I'm sure. And Lola Falana also. These are two African-American female entertainers of the late 60s, early 70s who were virtually indistinguishable from each other because they did the same things. I think they both had TV shows. I know Lola Falana did. It was just, they were a type. I'm not, not saying anything about that, but it's just like, I don't know, they're just women. Just performers. They did not, go out of, or like Eartha Kitt. Maybe they were like Eartha Kitt as well. I could tell Eartha Kitt because she was Catwoman, right? And that's weird. How did she be Catwoman when the last Catwoman was white? How does that work? I don't know. Then this GooTube channel is replaced. It'll be something else in it in here instead. There'll be a guy painting with a big afro, and it'll be 1983. There's happy little trees. This YouTube channel will be gone. Barry Manilow Live. All right. As you might expect, double album. I think I paid 50 cents for this, a personal triumph for me, because they will make you pay extra if they catch 2 discs. Not me. I'm too fast for you. Too good. Kenny Rogers' Greatest Hits. I know Value Vinyl has about 20 of these. I only need 1. I may have 2, actually. Right? 22 solid gold hits. Countrypolitan. Okay, and this is like a TV opera thing, but it's not a K-Tel record. It's Adam Promotions, so it's akin to K-Tel, and it was sold on TV. Pen in Hand, Harper Valley PTA, The Race Is On, Welcome to My World. Little Bitty Tear by Pearl Ives. Little Wine Drinker Me by Robert Mitchum. This City by Loretta Lynn. These are actual hits from actual artists. And there's not a date on it. I would call this around 1970, 71. I'm not seeing a date on it. It may or may not be licensed. You'll get that sometimes. Vinyl pirates. It used to be a thing. Okay? And this is a Yakety Revisited by Boots Randolph. Okay? Of course, it's not Yakety Sax is not on here, but what is? Games People Play. Wichita Lineman. Yesterday When I Was Young. Born to Lose. Boots. I have a kid named him Boots. You're going to have a lot of fights. You're going to grow up just wrestling and fighting and raising hell. Your name is Boy Named Boots. Young Boots. And this is With Love, the seductive sax of Boots Randolph. Bootsy, the Bootman. Monument Records. Right? Country Spectacular. And these are 24 all-time gold hits. Again, you got original artist. This is on Mercury. And it's good looking. But let's see. Dang Me by Roger Miller. Keep me going. 6 Days on the Road by Dave Dudley. Wildwood Flower by Mother Maybelle Carter. Don't Go Near the Indians by Rex Allen. Topical. Peel Me a Nanner by Roy Drusky. Drug Driver Son of a Gun by Dave Dudley. Boggy Mountain Breakdown by Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. So, you know, this is good stuff. If you're in the country. If you're not, it's probably 45 minutes of pure hell. Right, now this is still sealed. So you know, it's hugely valuable. I may have paid $2 for it. In fact, I know I paid $2 for it. But why not? When you're into the classics, you invest. You don't buy it. You save it for future generations. And that's Barbara Mandrell's Get to the Heart. It's a sealed thing. It's what year are we talking? How long has this thing been encased in plastic? Since 1985. Alright. I'm a Believer by Neil Diamond. Angel in Your Arms. That's that old 70s hit. Well, that was something. Anyway, wrapped in plastic, encased since 1985. Down here it says digital. I don't know why. And here's the cutout thing. It must not have sold very well. It must not have sold at all. Now this one here. Now I have another one in the series, and I had to pick this up because I'm a strange fellow. Let's see. Jack Tells It Like It Is. Now I've got Jack Talks to Teens. And this is a graduate of Leavenworth, San Quentin, Alcatraz, Lexington, and McAllister Prison. Jack's preaching the gospel, telling it like it is. 30 years a drug addict, 17 years in prison, 3 years solitary confinement. What a guy. Jack. Let's see, that's on Word Records, I believe. Let's have a look. No, this is the Jack Brown story. It is private labeled. It's no, it's not a label. It's Jack Brown. Easy does it. Now this was another compilation. Walk On By Johnny Mathis. Up and Away by Ray Conniff and the Singers. The Impossible Dream by Robert Goulet. Sunny by John Davidson. Michelle by the Brothers Four. What the World Needs Now is the new Christy Minstrels. A late 60s pseudo-hip, easy listening compilation. Hoping to get the thumbnail without having to work too hard. I'll look it up. I'll research it. I'll go through there, freeze frame, screen cap, and then just throw the crap out of it on the internet. That's quality. A 2-record set here. I may already have one. I know I don't have both. It's Inside Shelley Berman and Outside Shelley Berman. 2-record set. And it's on Verve, Hi-Fi. So it's this comedian, Shelley Berman. He's inside, he's outside. You don't know what to do with the guy. In and out. Oh, Shelley Berman. Right? Some weird wild stuff here. Strange. Okay, Plenty Valenti. It's got some, what I believe to be Japanese characters. It's not a bootleg. You'd think it's a bootleg by the quality of the sleeve. Well, it's not. This is a genuine Polydor record. It's set up in an unusual fashion. It's got a weird inner sleeve here. Records in here. Looks for all the world like it's imported from somewhere. Anyway, Swinging and Singing, Plenty Valenti, and I'm not real sure. Carmen Valenti? There's no way to know. It can't be known. Well, I guess you could look on the thing here. Caterina Valenti, Singing and Swinging. Huh. Anyway, that's a record. That's what that is. Now, I bought a couple of them. We'll get these first. Okay. Conway Twitty, Play Guitar Play. The guitar doesn't play itself. And then, again, 50-cent records. A Louisiana Woman, Mississippi Man, Conway and Loretta again. They were a thing. Although, were they? They were a singing duo like George Jones and Tammy Wynette. George Burns and Tammy Wynette was a little different. Smoke got in her eyes. They asked her how she knew. No one knew. Okay. Anyway, they were a big hit duo together. As far as I know, there's no sex tape. She was married. They were married, but not to each other. I think that was someone else. All right. Now these I bought strictly for the cover. Record's fine, everything's good, but I bought it for the cover because sometimes it's that way. The cover is so good, you gotta buy the record. Okay? And this Oscar brand. Look at this cover, man. And this is the Wild Blue Yonder. These are songs of the Fighting Air Force. They are beautiful covers. Okay? And well, let me see what some of the titles are. I believe Say the Fighter Pilot's Ass. Come and join the Air Force. Give me operations. Bless them all. I Wanted Wings. Barnacle Bill the Pilot. Air Force stuff. And then I said, what's this? What is this? Que onda? What is happening here? It's another one. It's Out of the Blue. More Air Force songs by Oscar Brand. He's battling a bird, perhaps. And then he's floating to his death. Yes. Will you go boom today? I learned about flying from them. Pilot of renown. Our bomber flies 15,000 miles airman's toast. Okay. And there's another one called Every Inch a Sailor, which I do not have and have not seen. And one called Tell It to the Marines. All in a series. Oscar Brand. Who knew? Who cared? Nobody watching this video, I assure you. Let's see. Did it come out? Yeah, it's on there. What the hell? What is that? This wasn't there. Why was that in there? Anything else in there? Weird. Probably just propping up the cover, making it look real good and special. I wonder if there's one in here also. There is something in here. That is a Electro Records. It's lyrics. It's a lyric booklet. I didn't know anything about this until just moments ago. I find it very fascinating. Anyway, came right out of here. It's very strange. Now, what I've done just now is wasted an enormous amount of your time and mine. Although, to be fair, I had the time. There was no sin or shame wasting it. Just one of those things. Now look for, I'd say in the next couple of days, who knows, look for what. I have, I told you I bought some 45 records, and it was 100 of them for $18. And as soon as they came in, I said, this is great, because there's so much good stuff in there. I ordered another box, and they came in last week, right? And then I said, well, how long is this going to last? I mean, all these are different. They're former jukebox records. How long is it going to last? They apparently have thousands of these things. So I ordered 100 more. And those will be in, like, apparently by Monday. Tuesday. Monday's Labor Day. Anyway, I'm going to go through. And I've already sorted them out. Not really sorted them out, but counted them off. In boxes of 50 or so. And I'll go through one on each video, and who knows the amount of time I could waste. By the time I get all those posted up, new ones will be here. More time, more videos. It's not over. These videos could last forever. However, I have things to do. I will talk to you at some point in the future, though let's not get too specific. Later.